and welcome back. We're here at the ITWeb Security Summit. I'm joined today, or now, by Xavier Bellekens from Lupovis. So Xavier was a speaker yesterday, but he's popped in to give us an overview of what he spoke about, also some of the work that he's doing, which I think is quite interesting. Xavier, welcome.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure, pleasure. So you spoke yesterday on a panel, I believe,
Right.
about operational technology. Can you give us a brief of what you discussed? What were the kind of key issues that were?
So we were discussing essentially the threats against operational technology. What does that imply for South Africa? What does that imply for the world in general, essentially? And how do we make sure that operational technology is up to date and doesn't face any threats or reduces their attack surface?
Okay, cool. And just as before we got started, the name Lupovis I thought was slightly unusual, but you explained it to me. Can you explain it to the audience?
Yes, so lupus or the wolf, ovis for the sheep, is the wolf in sheep's clothing, essentially. So we turn your network from a flock of sheep to a pack of wolves.
Okay, so that's very. So just give me a deeper understanding of why that's relevant to your name, what it is you do. Yeah, give us that.
We do cyber deception, essentially. So we do decoys inside and outside of network. We trick adversaries and let them come to us. And so we deploy services that look real and provide true positive alerts to our clients and say, look, nobody should ever touch the decoy. There's an alert right now. You need to look at them. We also do that globally. So we've got thousands of decoys deployed around the internet, and we let adversaries hit us while we gather information about them, how they operate, their modus operandi, and pass that on to our clients.
Okay. And then do you track individual hackers, or is it like the bigger kind of picture of patterns and that kind of stuff?
Excellent question. So we actually track individual hackers. We also track groups, and we also correlate that across all of the industries we are present in. Like we've got a client in the financial sector, we'll correlate with what we see on the internet. So we can tell them, look, that threat actor, we've seen them before. This is what they are doing. So you may want to up your defenses on that side, or you need to remediate these CVEs, those type of information.
Okay. And what kind of threats are you seeing? So I love the security summit in the sense that it gives you this bigger picture. I think it's all lone wolf hackers, and then you find out actually no, there's nation states involved. There's lots more kind of group and organized crime. So what are you seeing? What's the kind of trends and threats that you're seeing?
All right, so this is quite interesting. So we actually look at a picture of the internet, and every minute we get a picture of the internet. And what we see is that the healthcare sector is definitely the sector that is the most sought after.
Wow.
We then see manufacturing, automotive, defense, naval. Those are the sectors. And interestingly enough, a couple of months ago, the FBI published a report. It correlates with what the FBI has been seeing themselves. And we see a number of healthcare organizations and Fortune 500 that have been breached recently. And we've seen quite a few organizations, healthcare organizations here in South Africa, as well as universities.
Okay. So again, in the back of my mind, I've got an idea that there was this kind of unwritten ethical code amongst hackers that they wouldn't target healthcares and those kind of things. That's obviously being proven false.
Everybody hoped during the pandemic, right? A couple of years back. And ultimately, healthcare has both operational technology, they hold a lot of data. Quite often, they have limited budgets for cybersecurity. The technology might be 30 years old, 20 years old, 10 years old, and they have vulnerabilities. And so it makes it an easy sector or a very appealing sector. And adversaries know that because if your data are out on the web, medical history is out on the internet, right? You'll be angry at your healthcare provider.
Sure.
And so they know that they play on that basis, and that's why they target the healthcare sector.
Right. Okay. And then you mentioned you're seeing some kind of examples in South Africa. You said that this is your first trip to South Africa.
That's right.
So yeah, what are you seeing on the ground here locally?
Well, we're seeing quite a lot of people that come to us. So and we've got a will to improve cybersecurity. So and this is excellent. This is where it all starts, right? And one of the things that we've been discussing on the panel as well is you've got to get the basics right first, and then move on. And improving cybersecurity does not happen overnight. So it's always a long-term game, right? But the fact that there's so many people coming here at ITWeb and that are inquiring about how to improve their cybersecurity demonstrate that we are on the right path, essentially.
Okay. Xavier, that's been great. Thank you so much for your time. This has been Xavier Bellekens from Lupovis. Stay tuned. We've got Stefan Heiner from Snow coming up very shortly. Yeah. Xavier, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.